Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. So let's talk Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 7, episode 6. So it picks up right where the last episode left off, where we're at the winery and Candiace and Ashley are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So Candiace is calling Ashley a lying, vindictive bitch, while Ashley just kind of lets it roll off her back because just apparently does not care. So Candiace said that Michael likes to leave Ashley and go to a man's house. They bleep out the man's house with a nice little cherry blossom right on the top, or is that like some type of flower right on the top? And he goes to get, lip service for him. And Ashley said that Candiace is veering off the path, which she is. I mentioned that once before, that whenever somebody says something about Chris, Candiace does quickly change the subject. Either it's to protect her husband or she just wants to divert the attention away from them. But like I said before, where there's smoke, there's fire. So Candiace doesn't even address things. She just quickly moves away from it. So Candiace is in her confessional and she said that she knows this man that said that Michael is a client of his. So this man is stating that Michael calls him and pays for services from him. So Ashley then said that she hears everything about Michael, she processes this, and then she deals with it. So basically Ashley is saying, I already know about that. I heard that before. I've heard all the stories before. If you pay me, I don't care. That's what I got from Ashley, at least. So she then tells Candiace that the pendulum swings both ways. So everybody's just kind of like, check please. On that note, so me and Karen go back to the bus where Robin is sitting there saying that her Uber is 30 minutes out. Girl, you might as well just go ahead with these people now. Ashley, on the other hand, is talking to Wendy, and she said she wanted to bring this up in front of Gizelle. And Wendy is like, why? And Ashley's reasoning for that is because Candiace has been, according to Ashley, Candiace has been saying all this stuff back and forth that, Michael is not in, Chris is not in the wrong, and Giselle's making this big deal about everything. So in Ashley's mind, she wanted to bring up these other instances so that maybe she might want to talk to Chris about his behavior, because just maybe he's getting too friendly with the other ladies. So Ashley says that she's not vindictive and she wants people to stop saying she's vindictive. Ashley. And she said that Chris, I guess, has her friend that was there, Deborah, who has already put Real Housewives of Potomac in her bio. Deborah. Doing a lot, Deb. So she's, Deborah is saying that when they were at the spring fling event, that Chris was like propositioning her, so to speak. Meanwhile, Candiace is talking to Gizelle outside, and Gizelle was like, look at this beautiful view. Candiace was like, yeah, lovely. She's not out there to chop it up with you. She don't want to take a selfie. We need to talk about this. So Candiace says that she wants to understand Giselle's feelings and why she felt uncomfortable. I feel like, Candiace, you just should have did this the first conversation. When Gizelle said this to you, you should have had this conversation with her then. And I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided. Nonetheless, we're going to have it now. So Gizelle said that they went to her room and she asked him to leave right away. He did, and that was it. So Candiace is saying that, Chris is saying that you wanted to go to your room to talk. Gizelle is standing on the part that Chris said that he wanted to go. But this is far different from when Gizelle first told the story. So Giselle's story is turning. When Gizelle first told the story, it was that Chris said, let's talk. Gizelle said, hey, let's go to my room because my glam is there. Now Gizelle is saying that Chris suggested, hey, let's go to your room. So they get to the room. And Gizelle is saying, Candiace is saying that Chris told her that the door was open. She suggested that the door is closed. Chris suggested opening the door. And Gizelle was like, I don't recall who said that, but if he did, then he knows that we were in a situation that was wrong. So Candiace is saying that Gizelle is implying that Chris had malintent. Gizelle said, no, I'm not saying that at all. Gizelle then goes on to say, maybe Chris is doing things that he's comfortable with that the ladies aren't, which could be true, but if your story is changing, Gizelle, it causes you to lose credibility. So Candiace then feels that Gizelle should have called her right away to talk to her about that instead of choosing to bring this up on the show with the intent to hurt him. 1000% agree. However, if Gizelle would have called Candiace and they had a conversation, to themselves, who's to say that Candiace would have been receptive? That's the only thing. Candiace is saying you should have come to me, but I personally think Candiace would have still reacted the same way. I don't think Candiace would have been receptive to it at all, to be honest. So Candiace then goes on to say that Gizelle is the reason that women don't come forward with things like this. That makes absolutely no sense. That doesn't make sense. Because if anything, Gizelle would be the reason women don't come because nobody is believing them. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, maybe that's what she's saying. I feel like Candiace is putting a lot on them. She has to give up IVF. Now she's putting, the entire weight of sexual assault onto Gizelle. It's everybody's wrong in this situation. So Gizelle was like, that's completely false. Gizelle says in her confessional that she is 100% telling the truth. I said, okay, you better hope that Bravo doesn't find some footage and decide to air it at the reunion, because I feel like that's what's coming, and this is not going to work for either person. I just feel like this footage that's going to come is going to blow up in somebody's face. So Candiace in her confessional calls her an evil see you next Tuesday. That's what I think she did, because I don't think that they would blur out bitch like that. Did she call her a see you next Tuesday? If so, yikes. That is like the absolute worst thing that you can call somebody, for real. So Candiace gets back to the bus and sits down and says that Ashley was saying that Chris was like rubbing up on this girl's butt and stuff. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, Gizelle? Now, this is when you can say that Gizelle is lying. That's not what Ashley said at all, unless we didn't hear the whole conversation. Lord have mercy. So Gizelle's story is shifting. So it's not. Jizzy just better hope that when they roll the footage, that beautiful bean footage at the reunion, that her face doesn't get cracked. I know people are saying she needs to be kicked off the show. They're never going to kick her off. Never. Because Gizelle is willing to be as scandalous and conniving and do all the other stuff that all the other ladies probably won't be willing to do. Like somebody said on Twitter, reality TV is scripted to an extent. It's reality, but it is scripted. So Gizelle is great for TV. She would never be kicked off the show. So then we get a scene with Mia, Charisse, and Jacqueline. The most misfit group of women to be on here. I didn't understand it. Why was Charisse there? Why is Charisse back? Why is Charisse a friend of the show when she doesn't seem to really be anybody's friend? But nonetheless, so Charisse is asking Mia about her health. Mia said that she has a lump that needs to be removed, but since it's not urgent, she's not in a rush to get it done. I'm sorry, if I have a lump in my body that could be causing some type of health issue, I'm getting it removed as soon as I can. I don't know if Mia's lying about this, but girl. So then we get introduced to, we get to learn a little bit more about Jacqueline. So we find out that Jacqueline's mom fostered Mia. She was there at the hospital when Mia's father died. So they're super close, like sisters. Jacqueline said they fight like sisters. They love like sisters. So what everybody is wondering is, how do y'all go from being sisters and foster sisters and best friends to Mia airing her out? Housewives destroys friendships and marriages. Reality TV, I'll say, just disrupts marriages and friendships. It just does. They always tell people stay off reality TV for these reasons right here. So Mia is telling them that they are all going to be going to Miami. So she says she has a 6-bedroom house with 9 girls. And then she then tells Cherise, who she all but just met, that she's going to get to pick her room. Why? Why would Cherise get to pick her room? She then said that the girls that she does not like would just happen to get what's left, and she says good luck to Wendy. Okay. So then we get Wendy, and Wendy is sitting down with her daughter. Wendy has such a gorgeous family. I don't like Wendy at all. I don't care for Wendy's personality. I'm not a fan of Wendy, but Wendy and her kids and her family is beautiful. They're a nice little chocolatey family. So Wendy is journaling when Eddie comes in, and she is saying that she's happy that her mom is out of the hospital now. And she feels like she is not appreciating a lot of the things that happen as they come. So she said that she'll accomplish something and she'll just mark it off as off of a checklist. So she wants to start stopping and just enjoying life a little more. So Eddie was like, cool, because that leads me over to this whole thing about the restaurant. It's a financial investment that is going to put a strain on your finances. Let's just keep that clear, on top of the fact that you just don't have the time to do it. You don't have the time to do it. Wendy acknowledges it's going to take a strain on her financially, but it seems like she still really wants to pursue it and go forward with it. What I do hope is that this show does not dismantle Wendy's family unit or break apart her and Eddie, because they seem considering what they went through to even get married, they're just a very nice looking couple together. They seem very in tune with one another. Don't let this show break y'all up, girl. So then we have Wendy talking about the burn session. Her husband asked if she took accountability. Wendy lies and says she did. She really didn't. She really didn't. Wendy did a "I'm sorry if I," which is not an apology, which is not taking accountability. So she claims that she did. She then goes on to say that Mia invited them all to Miami. Eddie was like, y'all are crazy, so y'all was just fighting. Now y'all all gonna be friends. Okay. Wendy says in her confessional that she loves Miami. She's not missing out on the trip to Miami. And everyone is just going to have to deal with the fact that she is there. Gizelle and Robin go shopping for Miami. Gizelle said that she's going to act like a 25-year-old drunk and scantily clad. Okay. So Gizelle then said that Candiace needs to get Chris about the way that he has been tweeting. Robin said that she did talk to Candiace about that, and Chris was just kind of set off about Ashley. So we get to see some of the tweets. Look, I feel like Twitter is fair game. If you are talking about somebody, then of course they are going to go and defend themselves. What I have to disagree with people on is that the show wasn't airing. The show was airing now. So if Chris is going on now and tweeting and defending himself, absolutely. But Chris was going on and talking about Gizelle, or just tweeting in general, mainly about Gizelle and Ashley, and nobody had context. So that's not exactly, you see what I'm saying? So that part I can't really condone, but the way Chris has been tweeting now, that's what they do. That's what Candiace and Chris do. They're Twitter fingers. So Ashley shows up and they start to talk. She says she talked to Michael about the money. And they kind of catch her in a lie about this LLC, where she's saying that Michael told her that the LLC was not fully formed, and he's offended that she thought that he would do it without him, and all this other kind of stuff. And they're like, "But you said you had one." And she said, "Oh, I thought it was set up." So Ashley is lying. Ashley is lying all up and through. I think that this is just a ploy to keep Michael off the show, because when Michael comes on the show, it turns into a shit fest. So Ashley is saying that she now realizes she does not have to do it. Why did you just now have to realize this? Why? Why did you just now have to realize this? So earlier we saw that Ashley did meet with the lawyer, and that's what she's telling them about. The lawyer was saying that if you're going to let Michael do all this stuff, you need to be able to trust him. Since she isn't the breadwinner, don't just take what he's giving you at face value. So in her confessional, Ashley said that she would rather wait until closer to the 1 year mark. They have to be separated for a year. And then she admits that she is basically stalling. Actually acting real stupid about this divorce. And it's kind of annoying, and it makes it just seem fake. So she's asking the lawyer, should they buy the house together? The lawyer was looking at her like, girl, no. Because then he can use it over your head and do whatever. So that's what she's kind of explaining to Gizelle and Robin, and they were just looking at her like, so do you see what we were saying now? Does anything we were saying kind of make a little bit of sense to you, dumbass? So they then go on to talk about what Candiace said about Michael. So Robin said that Candiace told her that rumor years ago, and she's just been kind of sleeping on it. In the confessionals, Robin says she does not put anything past anybody. And I feel her. I feel like anybody is capable of anything. I hate when people say, oh, she doesn't seem like she would do that. I don't think he would do that. Not from what I've seen. Anybody is capable of doing anything. So Gizelle then said, she goes on to talk about her situation with Candiace and Chris. She said that this would have been over and done with, and she would have forgot about it, but Candiace and Chris keep tweeting about it and making it into a bigger thing. Do I believe that Gizelle would have just let it go? No, because it's her storyline. But I do agree, and I've said before, that the more that Candiace and Chris pour into it and give it life and pump it up and complain about it, they're making it into a bigger situation, which is taking the heat and the attention off of the marital issues that we know that they have, because we have seen them fight, or marital issues we presume them to have, because we see them constantly arguing and fighting every time, and now their focus is on Gizelle and on Ashley. So Robin has said that Chris and Candiace are basically the same when it comes to the tweeting. So basically what they're saying is everything that they're telling Candiace, she's taking back to Chris in a more dramatized way. And because of that, Chris is then getting on Twitter and making, turning this into a bigger thing where the fans are now getting involved even before the season has ever started. For the fans that follow Chris, at least. So Gizelle said that she never wants to talk to him again. And if he walked in the room today, she would say, fuck you, Chris. I said, oh. I mean, that's a lot, but okay. Seems an over-exaggeration, but all right. So we then get to the airport. The way Karen was talking to Charisse, hey, how you doing? All right, good to see you. And the way Karen turned and smiled at that camera, I hollered. Karen does not see it for Charisse. She does not want to talk to Charisse. She does not want to be around Charisse. She already is upset that her birthday is falling onto this trip. So she said if it was up to her, Charisse would not be invited to her birthday trip. And she's now realizing this is not a birthday trip. This is a girl's trip, but her birthday just happened to be in the middle of it. Basically, but it's like, Karen, you knew that Mia's not throwing you a birthday trip. Why would she? So Mia is assigning them to cars. It's Robin, Wendy, Charisse, and Ashley in one car. Then it is Mia, Gizelle, Karen, and Jacqueline in another car. So Mia is saying that this is like her first round draft pick. So she tells them that there are 6 rooms. And then tells Karen, don't worry, you have your own room because it's your birthday. So the other ladies in the car are all assuming that they're good and they're going to be one of the 6, they get their own room. Meanwhile, in the other car, Robin and Wendy and Sharice and Ashley are trying to figure out the accommodations because they're like, if it's 6 rooms and it's 10 people, something is not meshing up. So Sharice is staying quiet because she knows that she's not going to have to share a room, right? So they show up. They thought they were going to be on South Beach, out on the beach, close to the ocean. Come to find out, she has them like residential area. So everybody's kind of complaining about that. And it's like, Mia, this is supposed to be the first trip that you're hosting. I expected elegance and luxury and for y'all to have like a beach house. Not this house where y'all are going to have to take an Uber or car service down to get down to the beach. On top of the fact that Mia's shady for not even having enough bedrooms for everybody. This is a point of contention on every single girls trip on this show. I feel like Atlanta, they are never sharing rooms. So it is weird that on Potomac, they are constantly getting accommodations where these grown women are sharing a room. Of course they're going to complain. And for the people that are on Twitter saying that, it's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. It is a big deal when you are going into a situation and you are not told you are going to be sharing a room. It's different than when you're on a trip and you're going with people and you guys are sharing a room. But I feel like at that age, at the age we are now, I don't share a room when I go on a trip with somebody. Unless you it's planned in advance. If it's planned and it's understood, then that's different. But I just feel like that is crazy that they keep doing this. So we get there and Mia says that the theme is MIA. Don't go missing in action. I said, girl, that don't even make sense. Nonetheless, they have their room assignments and they are all named after stripper names. So Gizelle and Robin are sharing a room. Karen gets her own room, but it is extremely small. But she does have her own private bathroom. Sharice has her own room, but she does not have a bathroom. So she's mad about that. It's just as bad as when Gizelle and Robin had to share that attic on Wendy's trip, and they didn't have a bathroom. Mia and Jacqueline are sharing a bedroom, but they have this huge room. So they're sharing a room. And then Ashley has her room. So Candiace's card is still sitting on the table. So Wendy keeps saying, where's Candiace staying? Where is Candiace staying? Mia tells her, don't touch her card. That is for her to open. Ashley steals the card. Come to find out, she is in the room with Wendy that has one bed. That is the dumbest shit ever. That is so dumb. That is absolutely so dumb to do. So one, why is Sharice even on the trip? She's not even on the show for real. So Wendy keeps asking, where is Candiace sleeping? Mia tells her, why are you worried about it? Wendy then goes on to say, well, you should be worried because this is your trip. Wendy, you weren't worried about when Robin and Gizelle had to share that room? But nonetheless, I do see her sense of urgency. All the beds are accounted for. Meanwhile, Sharice is saying that she's going to a hotel because she doesn't have a private bathroom. So when Ashley is telling her, well, I have my own room. Why don't you just come use my bathroom when I'm done? Or do you not want to go up and down the stairs? Sharice said, I am not in college anymore. I'm not going to be packing a bathroom bag, a toiletry bag to walk up and down the stairs. I feel you. Way too damn old for that. So then we have Mia FaceTiming Peter, and she wants to bring the girls out to the bar. So Peter was like, tell Wendy I have beef with her. So I'm wondering if Wendy has pulled out of wanting to do the bar now with him, the lounge with him, the Nigerian lounge. But now we see later that night, we are going to see Wendy get all of her drink sloshed in her, or all of a drink sloshed in her face by Mia, only to rival when Eric threw all that drink into Jennifer's face on Basketball Wives. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. It seemed very filler, more of a setup to what's to come in the next episode, where we get to see the Mia and Wendy beef just kind of rise up. So let me know what you guys thought about it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.